Hey, what's going on, guys? Standing here in beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been struggling to get content out. There's not a whole lot going on in Ohio, but I'll be exploring the state this weekend. And we're going to be checking out some things in Cincinnati and Columbus, Ohio for this video. We're going to start here in Cincinnati. It's a city I actually don't know a whole lot about. Being from Northeast Ohio, usually my city adventures took me to Columbus or Cleveland, Akron to an extent, and places like that. So when I get a chance to explore new places, usually to be honest with you, I usually go to a baseball game or whatever sporting events in town. But unfortunately, the Reds are out of town this weekend, and that's not an option. So we're going to actually start off today. You can see a sculpture behind me. We're going to start off at the Cincinnati Art Museum, and it's actually free to the public. It's similar to cities like Washington, D.C. with the Smithsonian's or some places in New York. It's free to access, and we're going to go check it out, and hopefully we'll enjoy it. And where would I be without my trusty steed? We got caught in the rain today, so it's half up, half down. But yeah, it was a wet, wild ride down here today. So there is a sculpture garden outside of here. You can see we got my boy Pinocchio hanging out. I don't know what that thing is, and we came from over there where that thing is, but there's all kinds of stuff around the grounds. We're probably not going to have time to explore it all today, but we will be checking out some of the art. So this is a great hall entrance. So the collection here actually houses a time period of over 6,000 years and 67,000 different art pieces. Now, all of them, of course, are not on display, but they exist here. When you walk into this place, you just get a huge, idea of how massive this building is. And like I said, it's free to the public. Now, that's for general admission. They usually have a special exhibit that tends to run, I think it's $12. We did not go for that option today, but we will be checking out what's free to the public. I mean, this place is just enormous. I love the architecture too. How cool are these ancient structures? I mean, that's crazy. There's a person in there. Think about how old this stuff is, and you're just amazed that we still have it. What are they gonna find of us? Like an iPhone or something? So not just only is stuff on display, but you can actually come in here and open these drawers and find other relics. Things like bracelets, toothbrushes, miscellaneous ivory pieces, letter openers, and these are all from 1890 and the 1500s. How insane is that? Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. So my dad actually had one of these older clocks. I always think these are kind of cool. Okay, so they do have these things, these lamps and tea kettles and some furniture. Do you guys consider furniture art? Leave it in the comments. So yeah, there's more furniture here, and I'm trying to keep my voice down to try to, let people enjoy this, but do you guys consider this art? I mean, it is definitely something you wouldn't find at Home Depot. Hey, everyone. So it's super easy to get lost in here, because like I said, it's just massive and it all interconnects. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I'm not a map guy, because, I'm a man, but I might need one. So this is gonna sound like me trying to be really deep and To an extent, I guess I am. But you think about how much like artwork was created from religious themes, whether that be Muslim, Christian, Judaism, Hinduism, whatever. And at the same time, you think about how in the name of this, we try to censor art sometimes because it doesn't align with those values. It's just something to think about whenever you see something like this. Okay, now we're getting into stuff that I really like, which is modern, contemporary, and abstract art. So this is kind of my jam. I mean, it wouldn't be Cincinnati if you didn't have something with the Reds. Free Pete. As you guys can see here, we're driving through Cincinnati right now, and some of the old historical architecture is kind of cool, man. I ain't gonna lie. It's something different. It's got a different vibe to it. Can't recommend enough checking it out. Always finding new places is something interesting. But as we continue to do our little drive down here, oh, and now you can hear my guys going off. But yeah, I think it's like a really cool little place. And as you'll see here, as we turn
in a quarter mile, turn right,
and as Siri tells me where to go, you can start to see downtown. And Cincy's got a great downtown. I've been down there before. The ballpark's down there, and it's a really good time. All right, so our adventure at the art museum was cool. It was short. I spent about an hour there. There's a lot of more interactive things that you could do, but currently, excuse me, we're in downtown Cincinnati, and so we'll be checking it out, seeing what it looks like. Apparently I'm allergic to something around here, but we'll be checking it out, maybe getting down by the river and doing those kind of things. But well, yeah, let's check out downtown. Also, you will notice that I had to rep my Browns hat down here. I know that if you asked me, I'd probably say the Dolphins are my favorite team, but I still follow the Browns because I'm hopelessly addicted to them and the sadness that comes along with it. All right. Cincinnati's got its own little unique style down here. Very pretty, very clean downtown. A lot of one-ways, so if you're driving here, don't. But other than that, I didn't have a bad experience getting down here, and now we're gonna go check out some other things and kind of show you guys downtown. But it's a nice little place. I'd hang out down here. All right, so we're here in Fountain Square, which is like a nice little park that they built in the middle of downtown Cincinnati. And they're really good at naming things because, as you can see, it directly correlates with being part of the fountain. So yeah, it's a nice little part of town to hang out in. A lot of events here. They do have concerts over at the Fifth Third Pavilion over here, and it's a good time. So come check out Cincinnati. U.S. Bank building. No clue. And there's a bar in public. Cincinnati rocks. You know, I always thought people that carried selfie sticks were assholes. And I kind of feel like an asshole walking around down here right now. Trying not to get hit. Young aspiring YouTuber gets murdered by walking in the middle of the street with a selfie stick. Not how I want my obituary to be read. So behind me is Paycor Stadium, which is the Bengals football stadium here in Cincinnati. Cincinnati actually has two professional teams. They have the Cincinnati Reds, whose stadium's over there, and they do have the Cincinnati Bengals. And because my friend Nick is watching, I have my special Browns hat on, and I just want to say go Browns. But yeah, Cincinnati actually has a decent fan base. You know, they don't have the three sports like Cleveland has. Cleveland has a basketball team as well. But the teams that they do have here, they do support, and they're very loud and very vocal, and especially the Reds. The Reds have a huge following, and at one point were a national team whenever they had, like a nationally followed team whenever they had Pete Rose and all those other guys. So now the Bengals went to the Super Bowl, not last year, but a year before that. So they're on the rise. My Browns are basement dwellers, but when we play the Bengals, it's Browns all day. So this is Cincinnati's skyline, and if you ever watch Monday Night Football and the Bengals are on TV, this is what you'll always see lit up. It's truly a beautiful downtown. They've got a great skyline. It's not going to make your list of New York's, Los Angeles's, or, you know, one of those bigger cities, but man, it's a beautiful little place. And to be honest, it's coming up. A lot of people are moving to Cincinnati for the cheap cost of living, especially as more and more people start working remotely. They're choosing to live here. It's growing not as fast as Columbus, but it is growing faster than Cleveland. And a lot of people live here and across the river, which we'll talk about in a minute. But it is a great place to live. I give Cincinnati a lot of grief. People from Northeast Ohio always say it's part of Kentucky. But, you know, if anybody other than Ohio people say anything about Cincinnati, you know we got to fight them. So behind me here is the John A. Roebling Bridge, which is a bridge that you can both walk across and drive across that connects the greater city of Cincinnati to the city of Covington, Kentucky. And behind me here is the Ohio River. Now, the Ohio River has a lot of historical importance. This was a primary transportation route. Oh, can't step on geese shit. But it was a primary transportation route for goods and services back when large barges would go through here. That's why Cincinnati, it also was a giant passenger, route as well. So Cincinnati has like a obsession with river boats, and that's mainly due to the fact that that's how people got around back then. You could get up and down the Ohio River. This connects all the way to Pittsburgh. I forget where it ends, but travels along Indiana. I think it empties out into the Mississippi. I don't know. I haven't studied a map in a while. Probably should have looked that up. But one of the other great things about Ohio, one of the other great important parts of the Ohio River and the importance it has is it was a stop along the Underground Railroad. So during slavery era, Ohio was a free state, and Kentucky was a slave state. And obviously, to get out of slavery, you had to cross into a free state. And so many people made this journey across the Ohio River, maybe not in Cincinnati, but all along the Ohio River to safety. And, you know, Ohio was on the right side of history there, fought in the Civil War. Now, as we all know, racism's not dead completely, but at the same time, it was a pretty cool thing that my state did and helped a lot of folks. There's an Underground Railroad Museum here in Cincinnati. If you ever get a chance, it's a somber event, or it's a somber place to visit, but it's definitely worth checking out. And one of the cool things is they made this a giant park. So obviously you have the stadiums here, Great American Ballpark where the Reds plays over around that way. But Cincinnati, the city, could have let this all get developed and probably could have put some high-rise real estate in here. But instead, they invested in the community and it's a public park. Now, on game days, you got to pay for parking. But there is some free parking areas, not on game days. And it's just a really nice place to hang out. And, you know, bring your families or whatever, enjoy the day. It's currently 80 degrees here in Ohio, which is rare for April. But, you know, we're enjoying the weather while we got it. So, yes, just a beautiful park full of fun things for families to do. And so that's Cincinnati. Unfortunately, I don't have more time to explore today, but I think we saw some cool stuff. You at least got a vibe for what the downtown's like and the art museums. But tonight I'm actually meeting up with some of my college buddies. So I'm going to head out to their place. And yeah, we're going to just enjoy the time together. But tomorrow's Columbus. Got some really fun things planned, so check it out. All right, so I lied. We're not quite done in Cincinnati. One of the things that people either love or hate about this place is it is the foundation of Skyline Chili. And I've personally never had it. Being from Cleveland, I've always just heard, well, from the Cleveland area, I've always heard that it's fucking terrible. But we're gonna try it. I fully expect to be sick after eating it, but it might be good. Let's find out. All right, so apparently their signature dish is the three-way, which is spaghetti covered with our secret recipe chili and topped with a mound of shredded cheddar cheese. I think I might be sick. All right, so this is my meal. We have chili cheese fries and the 3-way with diced onions, which makes it a 4-way. Looks to be spaghetti noodles, chili, there's diced onions in there, and cheese. Holy KO pectate. All right, I can't imagine you'd fuck up chili cheese fries, so let's hope. Try this out. All right, the chili cheese fries ain't bad. All right, so the chili cheese fries were pretty good, but this is the main event. Spaghetti, chili, and cheese. I don't know, man. More cheese than anything. All right. When in Cincinnati. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is pretty fucking good. I'm never gonna go out of my way to get Skyline Chili, but when I'm in Cincinnati, it might not be a bad idea. All right, now we're officially done with the Cincinnati portion of this. So, gonna go hang out with friends tonight, and tomorrow we're hitting Columbus. Don't know if I'm gonna put it in 2 videos or 1 video.